This is just a bit of candy floss, this one, folks. I just read something yesterday that surprised me. I think is it Mollie King? I think I'm right. I think she was in The Saturdays. I think she was in there. Was it with Rochelle from This Morning and the lady that's on Loose Women at Dinner Time? I can't remember her name, but married to Bridge, the ex-Chelsea footballer. Know her name, can't remember it. Doesn't really matter for this piece. Yeah, Mollie King. I think she's now with, is it Stuart Broad, the England fast bowler who recently retired from Test cricket. There was a piece on them there. They seemingly about 8 or 10 years ago, they had a few dates together. It didn't go that far. The careers got in the way. They got back together 2 or 3 years ago now, been together ever since. They may well be married, I can't remember. I read the piece, but I can't remember. Well, I flicked through the piece. What shocked me was they were putting them up as the new Posh and Becks, the Posh and Becks of the cricket world, as opposed to the football world. We all know Beckham has made an absolute fortune. We know his wife is doing the best she can to fritter it all away with these designer clothes that she's failing with. But he's made millions, Bex, because he's at the opening of everything. You open an envelope, if he's got anything in it, Bex is there waiting with his hand out. Don't worry about that. But yeah, it was mentioning old Broad, and I think it's Mollie King, and how much they're worth, and I nearly died. I'll tell you how much in a minute, but let me just say this. I always thought cricket wasn't a greatly paid sport. Nothing like football. It still isn't. But I thought it was reasonable. I thought if they played Test cricket, they got a retainer on a yearly basis of 100, maybe 200 grand. Maximum 200, but maybe even less. And I knew they got money off their own county team, but again, not massive money. But I didn't think they paid a lot. The Saturdays, they were reasonably successful. They had a few hits. If memory serves, I can't remember any of them. They're not my kind of band, but they had a few hits. They did all right in GB and also out of Great Britain. But there was 5 or 6 girls within the band. A couple of them successful since the band had finished, as I said earlier. So they've all been holding their hands out, as well as the management. So I can't see anybody making millionaires out of that, or not massive money anyway. I don't think they've ever been huge album sellers. They might have sold a few LPs and a few singles, but I don't think it's in high millions. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. But I read that Broad and old Mollie were worth, collectively, I don't know if it's 22 or 27 million. I couldn't believe it. I thought, oh my God, that's a lot of dosh for an ex-cricketer. For all he was a good cricketer, I didn't think there was that kind of money in cricket, and I was just surprised. Why, I'm telling you, I don't know. But it shocked me. I just thought, oh my God, that's a lot more than I thought they would have had. A hell of a lot more. As I say, I look to rugby league, because I love rugby league, and they make peanuts compared to football. They make absolute peanuts. But you take Mollie King and Broad, I probably would say the equivalent in rugby league to those over the last 10 years would be Helen Skelton and Richie Myler. Don't like Richie at all. He's not with her anymore. Like Helen a lot. Think she's great. But she's on the TV and has been for a number of years. Done a number of programmes. He was a decent rugby league player and still is. But as I say, rugby league money isn't great. And although she's been on lots of programmes and probably earned pretty well, I'd be really shocked if she had sort of 10 million plus in the bank. But I could be wrong. But Mollie King and Broad, 22, 27 million, it surprised me, it really did. And it made me think again, maybe there's a lot more in cricket than I thought. And again, it makes me realise how underpaid my rugby union people are, because I love rugby union. It's a great sport, played by proper sportsmen who work really, really hard. They aren't play actors, they're hard men who play hard and are pally when the game's ended, and what they earn is buttons compared to what they should earn. It really, really is. Anyway, that is another story.